Coming up, a Southern Kentucky sheriff is ordered to pay tens of thousands of dollars to canine handlers for work performed. And an honors ceremony puts road workers in the Big Sandy in the spotlight.
Plus, stormy weather takes a backseat for a little while as high pressure briefly moves in. The very latest coming up as First and 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
A Southern Kentucky sheriff is being ordered to pay more than $60,000, all because of a requirement he says he was not aware of. The money will be going to canine handlers who have worked for the office over the past 4 years. As WYMT's Phil Pendleton tells us, the issue deals with how the handlers were compensated.
Bobby Jones has only been sheriff since January, but he says he's going to have to provide a big chunk of money through back pay for some deputies, all because of a requirement he says he was not even aware of.
We was contacted by the Labor Department that there was someone filed a complaint against us.
Sheriff Bobby Jones says state labor officials say they were not properly paying canine handlers. The issue was not with their regular salaries, rather what they're paid for taking the dogs home. Jones says handlers don't have to pay for vet bills, dog food, or any other expenses. They're even given an extra $1,000 a year. But he says the Labor Cabinet wants all of that listed as a specific line item in their budget. The bizarre thing about all of this, he says the State Sheriff's Association, the Kentucky Auditor, and numerous other people were not aware of this so-called rule.
So, to my knowledge, we're the first ones to get hit with this. But what they decided they was going to do is go back 4 years. So we had to go back and look at all the records for canine handlers. We had 7 canine handlers in the last 4 years for the time that they had their dog at home.
Sheriff Jones tells me that his office will be able to take care of this money. He says the first installment has already been made, but he says had this been levied upon a smaller sheriff's office, a smaller police department, he says there would be no way that they would be able to pay it. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
All right, thank you, Phil. Sheriff Jones says the Labor Cabinet did not divulge who filed the complaint on them. We have made a call into the state Labor Cabinet that has not been returned yet. Members of a local Kentucky Transportation Cabinet crew from Knott County are being recognized in Pikeville with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Heroic Safety Awards. Today's ceremony recognized Crew 344. In late May, a crash in Knott County seriously injured a young man, but thanks to the heroic actions of a nearby Kentucky Transportation Cabinet crew, Hunter McLeod of Johnson County survived.
It's just it's a long road, but you know, I'm very blessed. In 6 weeks, I mean, it's already completely healed up. I'm doing just about anything I want to do. I mean, I race. I turned a couple laps the other night. It's just, it's crazy to think that in 6 weeks how far the good Lord can bring you.
We will have much more from that ceremony as well as more about McLeod's story tonight at 6. One Eastern Kentucky pet store has moved after it was hit with flooding last year in Whitesburg. The owner of the business, L&B Reptile, Lenny Holbrook, says he chose Hazard because it is such a welcoming community. Holbrooks says he can already see the support from returning customers.
So we expanded out to Hazard, and the people at Hall Properties gave me a chance. So I'm happy to be here. You know, Hazard has opened their arms up for me, and I couldn't be happier being here in Hazard.
L&B Reptile is located in the shopping center across from Walmart. 6 stores from 5 counties are coming together for a sewing showcase. The Appalachian Center for the Arts in Pikeville is hosting a quilt show this weekend, bringing the Appalachian art to the floor for 2 days of viewing. The showcase will include around 30 quilts from the different shops and serve as a pop-up for the Quilt Shop Hop, which is ongoing now.
It's just showcasing what people does in our area. You know, they come together and they make beautiful quilts.
Hear more about the showcase and the shop hop coming up at 6.
Well, continuing to watch showers and storms roam the region out there this afternoon. We continue to watch. Just a few of those downpours work through. Here's the view from our Pikeville Medical Center camera yet again. 80 now in Pikeville. They were at 86 so when you joined us last half hour. And yes, we're starting to see a few of those showers try to move in. So far, just the wind at this point. Here's the view from London Corbin Airport showing you they pack a punch, not necessarily with wind so much as with heavy rain. And the potential there for some brief heavy downpours. 78 now. They were at 87 when we checked in last half hour at London Corbin Airport. There's the view from London Corbin Airport right on top of it, which is just south of downtown along 25 there. We'll continue to see that push off to the east. Further to the east, we were talking about that near Pikeville. Still not quite there yet. Heaviest is going to move over toward places like Dorton over the next little bit, staying north of Jenkins. Heavy downpours. This thunderstorm producing the potential 30-mile-an-hour winds as you head over into Estill and Lee County, even northern Jackson County. One not far from Sturgeon there into portions of Owsley County, and a few more along the Mountain Parkway in Powell County. So the downpours continue as we watch this front move through. They'll cool you off real quick. 71 Jackson, 77 Hazard, whereas everybody else hasn't seen the rain yet. Monticello's flirting with 90 right now. Forecast first next 12 hours, those storms will be with us in the afternoon or the evening hours, and we'll drop off into the low 70s with some patchy fog tonight. I'll detail just when you can expect that patchy fog in just a little bit. Olivia?
Evan, thank you. A TV meteorologist in Austin, Texas says he was sucker punched during a road rage altercation. Avery Tomasco had a dash cam in his car that captured what happened. He posted that video online to show how volatile these interactions can be. Adela Uchida reports.
It was a sucker punch.
CBS Austin morning meteorologist Avery Tomasco still seems a little shaken up by this punch caught on dash cam video this week.
He said one sentence with an obscenity in there. You hit my blank car. And I replied, no, you hit my car. And that's when he swung with his entire force.
Just moments before that, it was a normal afternoon. He was driving on Mopac at Steck.
All of a sudden, there's a car coming into my lane. I slam on the horn, hit the brakes, but it's unfortunately too late at that point.
Even then, Avery says he didn't think it was a big deal.
It's a minor collision at that point.
But the driver kept driving until Avery says he got his attention and they pulled into the shopping center at Capital of Texas Highway and 183.
We pull into the shopping center as casual as anything possible. We're using blinkers, we're going slowly.
Avery didn't suspect anything at this point, but a spokesperson for AAA Texas says there's a good reason to be wary in these situations.
According to the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, this was done in 2019, nearly 80% of drivers express significant anger, aggression, or road rage behind the wheel at least once in the prior 30 days.
Avery began to take pictures of the damage when the other driver is seen approaching him on video with his fists.
That little bit that he did wind up, I guess, was enough for my brain to realize you're in danger. Move your neck.
Both men move out of frame and Avery is heard calling for help. That's when he says the other driver walked away. Exactly.
If you are confronted, stay as calm and courteous as possible. And if you, again, feel threatened, call 911.
What AAA suggests you do. When police arrived, they took the report and a copy of the video. There is now a warrant out for the other man's arrest. As for Avery,
did you catch the license plate?
He plans to press charges, and he says the dash cam video will help him prove it.
Video is everything. That there's no disputing video evidence, both with the crash and both with what he did to me after the fact.
Avery Tomasco had a bruise and a cut that are healing. In the Houston, Texas area, police say a teen who went missing more than 8 years ago while walking his dogs has been found alive. But those familiar with the case of Rudy Farias say the whole case is not what it seemed to be. Police are now considering evidence that the boy's mother had been running a scam and kept the boy in hiding for years.
At the time he was reported missing 8 years ago, being missing is not a crime. So the detectives had no lawful means or probable cause to issue a search warrant for the residence, which was searched several times.
The Texas Center for the Missing confirmed Farias was located safe in a tweet shared Saturday. Coming up as First at 4 continues, a big name weight loss program that went bust is getting a makeover.
And finally, some calmer weather heads our way. The details on when this front finally works through after this.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The WYMT